What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio here. Freshly back from the National. And I own my first CSG slab. That's right. It didn't actually happen at the National. I actually bought this prior to the National on eBay, but it got delivered while I was gone. And this wasn't me targeting a CSG slab or anything like that. It was, I have a saved search list for Baker Mayfield stuff. And this popped up on there, and I put the old watch button on it. The card was pretty overpriced, but you never know what a seller will end up sending out in an offer after a while. And after some back and forth, yeah, ended up pulling the trigger on it. So this is not so much about the card that I bought, which I will talk about, but I just wanted to kind of give like my firsthand impressions of a CSG slab. I've held them before at card shows, but that's it's in a busy environment. It's dark in there. You're just kind of like just checking it out real quick. And everyone says, "Hey, they feel great in hand. Get one in hand, and they'll blow you away. They look way better. They feel way better. This, that, and the other thing." So this is a good opportunity to knock both those out. So smash the like button, comment, sub, all the YouTube stuff down below. Let me take this out of the team bag really quick. So the card that I got is this bad boy right here. Immaculate. I guess we'll call this an RPA. Eye black jersey auto out of 20. Once again, I have a saved Mayfield search. This popped up on there. I put the old watch button on it. It's an 8.5, but this was just me buying the card, not the grade. I just wanted the card. I thought it was a cool looking card, and I just wanted it. And I forget what it was originally priced at, but the dealer came back at me with, I think he ended up lowering the price down to like $800, and there's no comps on this. The only thing that I could find close was the same card numbered out of 2, so the gold version, and a BGS 95 went for almost $2,000. Other than that, no real comps. So this is out of 20. It's the regular or silver version. I don't really know. And I ended up getting it for $400, which to me feels like a pretty okay deal. We went back and forth a little bit on price. It was one of those situations where the seller discounts the item, still doesn't move. Then they end up sending an offer out. I countered his offer. He countered mine. I think I countered back, and then he accepted my counter, and I ended up getting it for 400, which seemed fair enough for a Baker, an Immaculate, which is probably the third highest tier. You have NT and Flawless above it, and then I put Immaculate third when it comes to higher end stuff, and it's just a cool looking card. So it's 8.5. So I was just treating it as raw. 9.5 centering, 9 corners, 9 edges, 9 surface. A couple of the surface things, I looked the card over. There's 2 noticeable things, and I don't know if the first one dinged it. I think what got it was the back. There is some silver markings here. I don't know if that's from the pen or from a surface issue on the card. It is signed in silver, so that could be pen marks. There also looked like there was a little dimpling here on the silver. Not too bad, but what nailed it was on the back here, right underneath the 2018 Panini. See that little, almost looks like a Brahma bowl, like the Rocks tattoo, right there, just under the 2 of the 2018 Panini, right there. It's like a little U-shaped crease almost, or mark or something. I don't really know what it is. And by the way, I have a Sony ZB-1. That's what I'm recording on. This thing is doing work for showing this off. Not gonna lie, very impressed right now. So that's why I think it has the 8 surface, which is fine. It's whatever. So the purpose of this video is not necessarily to talk about this card, though. Once again, I think it was a pretty good get for $400. I'll take it. An Immaculate semi RPA. I don't really know what you would consider this, but cool card. If I didn't want the card, I think I could easily flip this for at least a small profit here locally. No problem. So let's talk about the slab. I have thoughts. I have a lot of thoughts. This part, let's just cover this up for a second and talk about the neck down, shall we? In hand, this is one of the nicest slabs on the market. And frankly, it's not really close. This thing is really nice. And this is one of their new thicker ones. I think they just rolled these out not long ago for the thicker style cards. So I'm guessing this is freshly graded. This thing is crystal clear. It feels great. I literally feel like I could put this in my driveway and run it over with the car, and the card would be fine. I've heard these are horrors to crack open. They feel like they would be. I mean, this thing is rock solid, and it is very, very clear. I mean, you could see when we were looking at that little surface mark on the back how clear the slab looks. I mean, I'm extremely impressed with the slab itself. It feels great. Nice rounded corners. Very sturdy. Smaller than an SGC slab. I have an SGC slab laying around here. It actually fits inside an SGC slab almost perfectly. So you know how SGC has this little raised edge around the side of the card? This basically fits directly inside that. It's actually a little bit smaller than the inside of it, which is nice, which means it fits in most cases relatively fine, which an SGC slab will not. Why they made this thing this wide, I have no idea. I have a BGS slab here too. And then obviously plenty of, just grab a random PSA slab here. We'll just steal, well, so fits inside an SGC slab. Feels 100 times. SGC slabs feel so cheap to me. To a Beckett slab, it is a little thinner, not quite as wide, but it is taller than a Beckett slab. But I really like the rounded corners compared to the I'm going to murder someone with a square corner Beckett slab. And then in regards to the PSA slab, it is very similarly sized to a PSA slab. PSA slab might be slightly, they're basically dead on. It's the size of a PSA slab. This part is absolutely great. It's probably my favorite piece of plastic out of all of them. I'd be curious to have a thinner card in one. Once again, thicker card, it feels a little beefier because it's a thick card. All that being said, this part sucks. We all knew that, but it really takes away from the card, in my opinion. This just really takes away from the card. It's distracting. It's obviously, we all know it's too big. The green, like we know the comparison. So this is the same size basically as a PSA slab. And look how much bigger the label is than the PSA slab. It's like 30% bigger at least, top to bottom. There's no need for that. No need at all. And the green is really bad. It does have a little holographic look to it. You kind of see it there a little bit, but it's just, I can't get over this. This part, great. This part, terrible. If they can fix the label, if they can change the label, I would put them ahead of SG. I would use them before SGC without a doubt. I wouldn't even think about it. The biggest things holding them back are the labels and the fact that a 9.5 is their main grade. Is what it is. That's not going to change. But I would 100% put them ahead of SGC just because the slab is that much nicer. I hate the label. I wouldn't now. This is assuming they update the label with something better. They shrink it down a little bit and, get rid of the green, whatever. Rework this part. I would 100% put them in front of SGC. And for the love of God, unless it's like a super cheap card, get the subgrades. Don't grade with a grading company that offers subgrades and not get the subgrades unless it's like a bargain basement card. And if that's the case, I mean, should you really be grading it anyway? Especially given the turnaround times these days. I would definitely put this above SGC. Assuming everything was equal, I like the slab better than BGS, assuming they fix the label, not as is. But I think BGS, as of this point, is definitely more liquid and more well respected. I would definitely put, if they fix the label, they would be my third, and it wouldn't really be close. It would be PSA, then probably BGS, and then these guys. And if they fix the label and the comps got a little bit, I think if they fix the label, the comps would be way better. The label is really holding them back. If they fix this label, I would put them very close to BGS, and I would put them ahead of SGC. Once again, I just do not like the SGC slab. It looks really good in some cards and really bad in others. Prism looks like garbage in these slabs, in my opinion. At least base. This looks good. This not so much. The biggest problem with me is this label looks like something I made at home, and these feel cheap. I feel like I could crack this with my bare hands. This, I feel like I need a sledgehammer to crack. So that's my thoughts. Once again, absolutely awesome case. Just awesome. And terrible label. If you're watching, anyone from CSG, please, please, please fix your label. And here's the other thing about them. I trust them more than the fly-by-night companies, especially HGA. I do not trust HGA's grades at all. Full stop. I do not trust their grades. I do not trust them to grade an air quote real card at all. It's already been shown how many mistakes that they've made, that they've, trimmed cards, fake cards, the spelling errors, just they're like a calamity. For actual trusting of the grades, I would put CSG and SGC way. I do not take HGA seriously when it comes to trusting their grade. CSG at least has head Beckett graders and are parent companied with CGC. They've been grading stuff for a long time. They're the king in the comic book market. So I have some faith in their process. But the label holds them back, like it or not. Got to get the label fixed. Get the label fixed, and I think you're viable. I really do. But you got to get the label fixed. So I'd be curious your thoughts down below for anyone that either has had a CSG slab in hand or done a comparison similar to this or haven't. Just, with just looking at this, kind of talking through it. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys and girls today. The first CSG slab in the house. Would I crack this and send it to BGS? No, I don't think so, just because I'm not looking to sell this card, and I've just heard these are really hard to crack, so I don't know that I want to experiment on a Baker RPA. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys and girls. Like, comment, sub, all the YouTube stuff. We'll catch you on the next one. Peace.